Hello, and welcome to Emotional Alchemy Coaching. Today, we're going to explore a fascinating topic in psychology, the concept of the shadow, introduced by Carl Jung. The shadow refers to the parts of our personality that we've rejected or hidden from others and ourselves. It's the aspects we don't want to acknowledge or accept, but they still influence our behavior and relationships. In this video, we'll delve into the 4 ways the shadow manifests, how it affects our lives, and provide questions to help you explore and integrate your own shadow. Let's embark on this journey of self-discovery together. Jung once said, "Wherever there's light, there's shadow. The greater the light, the greater the shadow." The shadow forms because we cannot integrate all possibilities into our conscious awareness. As infants and children, we disown, repress, or neglect certain clusters of values that our families and societies do not approve of. The shadow consists of those parts of our personality that, if brought to our awareness, we find troubling. It's the aspects we don't want to be, parts we would repudiate, disown, or neglect. Everybody carries a shadow, and the less it's embodied in our conscious life, the denser and darker it becomes. The shadow is subject to modification as we grow and develop. The more it's repressed, isolated from consciousness, and never corrected, the more likely it is to burst forth suddenly in moments of unawareness. The human ego can only contain so much content at a given moment. It's like a miner's headlamp in a mine shaft. Shadow often shows up as consequences and patterns. The best place to begin your own personal analysis is to notice and analyze your patterns as they replay throughout our days without our conscious intention. The shadow manifests in 4 distinct ways. The first is unconscious. It affects our relationships without our awareness, spilling into the world and causing us to act out sporadically. St. Paul once said, "I know the good, but I do not do the good." This reflects the human psyche's diversity and complexity, with mixed motives and splintered agendas at all times. Each complex within us has its own script and hidden self, which is its shadow. Whenever we're caught in a complex, there's a shadow dimension we're unaware of. Some parts of our personality have yet to meet other parts. Shadow isn't necessarily evil, but being held accountable for it can feel overwhelming and distasteful. Remember, the shadow consists of the aspects of ourselves we don't wish to address or own. The second manifestation of shadow is projection. Here, the ego disowns certain material and sees it in others. This allows us to avoid responsibility and place blame elsewhere. For example, we might ask, "Why are you so jealous, ambitious, angry?" Without realizing we're projecting our own traits onto someone else. Projection is an unconscious mechanism. We don't realize we're doing it. When we project, we think we're responding to others, but are actually responding to an aspect of ourselves that we've attributed to them. Collective projections lead to racial and cultural prejudices, where we deem people on the other side of an invisible line as bad. We also project our potential for growth and accomplishment onto others when we idealize them. Here are the stages of a projection. Unconscious projection. We see what makes us uncomfortable about ourselves in someone or something else. Cognitive dissonance. We notice something in the other person that doesn't fit our projection. Power complex. We try to renew the projection and force the other person back into line with our projection. Collapse of the projection. The romantic partner or other person falls short of our expectations. We often walk away at this point, blaming the other person. This ends the projection until we repeat the pattern with someone new. Claiming the projection. We acknowledge and reclaim the content of the projection, asking ourselves, "What did I attribute to you that actually belongs to me?" Jung believed projection involves putting whatever is inferior in us onto another person. If the same type of bothersome person keeps appearing in our lives, it's an invitation to examine our own inferiority. This self-examination is challenging and something most people naturally resist. The third modality of shadow is to be consumed by it, get caught up in it, let yourself go in it. For example, someone might get so caught up in feelings of jealousy that they start sabotaging their relationships, spying on their partner, and becoming obsessive controlling. Another example is when someone feels overwhelming guilt or shame and lets these emotions drive them into depression or substance abuse. The fourth modality of the shadow is to suffer from it, make it conscious, and slowly begin to assimilate it. For example, imagine someone who prides themselves on being rational and composed, but finds themselves frequently experiencing unexpected outbursts of anger. Through introspection and therapy, they realize these outbursts stem from childhood experiences where they were taught to suppress emotions. By consciously acknowledging and accepting their anger, they gradually learn to express it assertively rather than explosively. This process leads to greater emotional balance and authenticity, improving their relationships and overall well-being. Here are some questions to help you explore and integrate your shadow. What parts of yourself trouble you? What behaviors or traits did your family of origin disapprove of? What was encouraged? How might that have shaped the parts of yourself that you show? Now, if you were to live a bigger life, what might it look like? What patterns keep appearing in your life? What might your partner, parents, friends, or children say about how they experience you? Can you identify how your shadow might be pushing you to do things or keeping you from doing things? Who do you admire? Can you imagine yourself having their qualities? What happens if you imagine allowing yourself to develop those qualities? Who irritates or angers you? Can you imagine yourself having their qualities? Can you accept that in yourself? Engaging with these questions can help you understand and integrate your shadow, leading to a more authentic and balanced life. Thank you for watching Emotional Alchemy Coaching. We hope this video has inspired you to explore your shadow and take the first steps towards a more authentic and balanced life. Remember, acknowledging and integrating your shadow is a process that takes time and patience, but it's worth it. Don't forget to ask yourself the questions we provided and start your journey of self-discovery. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel for more content on psychology, personal growth, and self-improvement. Join our community and let's transform our lives together. See you in the next video.